The 939 Driveline Service Center is basically designed to pull the old fluid out of driveline components such as the differential and replace it with new fluid. The 939 is a simple tool. It's not air powered, it's electric driven. We've got one service hose. Basically this service hose will do the suction and the putting back of the new fluid. We'll use one hose to accomplish both jobs. The machine has several options. We use a U-tube system. The U-tube, if we're going to be pulling out of the differential, we'll put the U-tube into the waste slot. After we get done sucking all the fluid out, we'll go to the additive side. We'll put our additive tube, such as LS2 or MGC, into the additive slot. Our additive slot right here has a piercer in it, so you just take the tube, slide it right down in there. It'll cut a nice slice into the tip of our tube, allowing the product to be put back into the differential. After we're done doing that, we just drop our U-tube into the appropriate new fluid quart and suck the new fluid back into the differential. One of the nice things about the machine, we got two options with the machine. The machine, we could either use a quartz at all times, or with a few modifications, we can add the bulk system and use the machine for bulk fluid also. To start the service, we want to grab an appropriate size suction wand. We've got several different diameters of suction wand, whichever fits for the service that you're going to be doing. Grab the service hose. It's a push to connect fitting. Slide it in there. We'll run our suction wand down into the differential. First thing what we're going to do is we're going to put our U-tube in waste. We're going to go to drain. With our suction wand in the bottom of the differential, we're going to pull as much fluid out of the differential as possible. As soon as we get all the fluid out of the differential that we can get, what we want to do is obviously we want to turn the machine back off. Go to additive, put our additive tube in there. We're going to inject our additive. After we inject our additive, we're going to come back, drop it down in our appropriate fluid. Go ahead and inject the appropriate fluid into the differential. We're either going to follow the manufacturer's recommendation of how much fluid goes back in the differential, or we're just going to fill it up till it starts coming out of the fill hole. Next, we'll go to a vehicle and actually do a service. The 939 tool is one of the simplest tools BG has. Basically, what we're going to do is we're just going to remove the old fluid out of this differential, and we're going to put it back in using the machine. First of all, we got to identify or locate the fill plug. We're going to get one of our suction wands. We've got some items right inside there that's going to give us a little bit of restriction, so I'm going to use the smaller diameter of suction wands that we have available. Take my service hose. We're going to insert this suction wand and insert it to the bottom of the differential. We're going to open our ball valve. We're going to take our U-tube and take it to waste. Then we're going to go to drain. The fluid is going to be sucked out of the differential and put into our waste container here on the bottom of the machine. You can see the fluid, the black fluid coming through our suction wand. The gear lube in the differential is thick fluid. The colder the fluid, the slower the service is going to take. The best thing to do is to have the differential warmed up before we do the service. 90 degrees is the optimum temperature that we like to see for fluid flow. Another thing we can do to help speed up the service, you can see how long our suction wand is here. If we cut that suction wand in half, That'll speed the service up also. You can tell when the differential is empty as soon as you start seeing bubbles coming through your suction wand, and you can also hear the pitch of the motor change. I'm going to turn the machine off. We're going to add our additive. Want to move our suction wand. We want to move our U-tube over to additive. Take our additive and push it down into the additive slot. There's a piercer built in there, so there's no need to cut the tip of the additive bottle off. The piercer will pierce the bottle. It will come back and go to fill. As we can see, our additive tube is shrinking, basically sucking the fluid out of the additive tube. As we can see also through our suction wand, it is injecting it into the differential. After our additive is empty, we'll move our U-tube to the appropriate fluid, drop it to the bottom of the quart, and we'll continue to fill the differential. We know the differential's full when fluid starts coming out of our fill port. As we can see, our differential's full. We're going to put the plug back in, put the fill plug back in. This same service can be performed on differentials, transfer cases, manual transmissions, and front differentials.